right, that's it.
Hey YouTube, Shuffle Does here. So today we are going to rebuild my previous uh, hack job of a fence for my hops plants. I got my hops late last year, barely got them in time to get them in the ground so they could grow. Luckily, they all did take and they survived the winter. So
Those are
today I got my little helper with me
those are pieces of
and we are
bamboo
going to build
hemlock.
a more permanent protection
Yep, bamboo.
screen for the animals in the yard. So let's get to it.
Here you go.
So in between some playing time, the process here is just to push those bamboo stakes into the ground. And I have my guide wires already strung up the tree. And what I'm doing here is basically
Good
tying
job,
a
Susie.
rock to a little tag-on portion that will uh, vary between
What do
each
you want to do
set
inside?
so that it comes down right above where the hops are growing,
Shop from
and the
below.
initial start can happen on that single, and then they'll
Can I
get
work
up
on
to
this a
that
little bit
double
more?
line and carry as
Why
far
not?
as they'll grow basically. Now I do want to try and salvage this netting that I had on. It's very high quality. I actually picked it up at a garage sale, so I don't have a link to it, but it's a fencing type netting that has a double layer, and the nylon pieces are welded together to slide over posts, and it came with some post sleeves. But what I want to do is just measure um, the long sides and the short sides to make sure that I have enough to go all the way around. I'm basically just going to make a rectangle enclosure with bamboo stakes. So to make this cage, just measure along the bottom so it's nice and square, and cut the long one, measure for the short side, and then cut the short side. I used the two pieces I just cut as guides to make the other two, which I'm doing right here. And once those are all cut, I used some wire ties to tie it all together. So I'm wire tying these together with 16 gauge 6-inch. These are for putting rebar together for foundations, footings, foundations, concrete stuff. So nice and strong. So what I'm going to do is measure approximately the height of that netting I have and go ahead and wire tie that first piece in, and just make sure that they're all about the same distance from the ground so the fence can be zip tied at the top. And then you'll see later I have some kind of turf stakes, long staples, whatever you want to call them, that'll tie in the bottom piece directly into the ground. And then wire tie that short section on next. Again, measuring so that the height is approximate and level with the ground. Tie on the next piece and tie on the next short piece as well. Now this corner closest to the camera and the one I'm standing at, I'm just loosely tying the back long side on, and the short sides are also loose on those so that I can have some adjustment and play moving back and forth when I go to put the netting on. Now I'm starting in this back corner with the netting with some simple zip ties to get that on, uh, looping it over the end of that bamboo pole, and then I will stretch it across the front and then the side and then see where I end up. So yeah, I'm a little short. So to help with that, I'm gonna shorten it up on the short sides about 2 inches. So I'm just going to loosen up the wire tie a little bit here, push it back about 2 inches or so. I think I might have done a little closer to 3 when all said and done. And once I got it in the right spot, I'm just going to tighten it back up, and then I'll start mounting that screen. Well, as you can see, it fits great. So I'm going to, again, take those masonry rebar ties and go around all of those corners, again in an X pattern, and tighten up the ones I already have on there now that I know it's going to fit. And then I'll use zip ties at the top, and then some staples, yard stakes staples at the bottom. So at the bottom of that netting, I'm going to put these just yard staples to keep that down. I'm going to come back and tie them up real secure. Nice and sturdy. So let's take a look inside. I have 3 varieties of hops plants that survived the winter and are already sprouting up. I'm just super excited that they made it,
and they look healthy already, being as early as it is.
Smash that thumbs up button. Thank you for watching Shuffle Dance. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.